Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Elvira Knips. I'm the host of this channel and your local South Florida realtor. And today we are taking a deep dive into one of the most unique streets in Hollywood, Hollywood Boulevard. From the 1920 houses to renovated modern property, Hollywood Boulevard is a hidden gem in Broward County. If you're thinking of investing or buying or just want to learn more about Hollywood Boulevard, stick around. To understand Hollywood Boulevard as it exists today, you have to understand how Hollywood developed as a city. Unlike its larger neighbor Miami, which grew rapidly into a global skyline, Hollywood was founded with a more intentional, almost idyllic vision. It was established in 1925 by Joseph W. Young, who envisioned a dream city in Florida, a carefully planned community stretching from the Intercoastal Waterway to the Atlantic Ocean. Hollywood Boulevard was central to that original vision. Designed as the primary east-west artery, it connected what would become the downtown district to the ocean front. Young even incorporated a broad landscape median, now known as Young Circle, today officially called ArtsPark at Young Circle, as the symbolic and physical heart of the city. In the early decades, the boulevard was lined with modest storefronts, hotels, offices, and civic buildings. It had the character of a classic Florida Main Street, walkable, shaded, and scaled for community life. Like much of South Florida, growth slowed dramatically during the Great Depression and again after the land boom cooled. But Hollywood never lost its underlying framework. The bones of the boulevard remained intact. By the mid to late 20th century, as suburban development expanded westward and regional shopping malls pulled retail traffic away from traditional downtowns, Hollywood Boulevard experienced a period of stagnation. It never completely collapsed, but it did lose some of its luster. For a time, it was quieter than originally intended, functional, but not particularly aspirational. If you watched our video on Miami's design district, you'll remember how that neighborhood's growth reflected Miami's appetite for bold, capital-intensive transformation. Hollywood Boulevard's story is different. Its revitalization was less about spectacle and more about preservation and incremental reinvestment. Beginning in the 1990s and early 2000s, the city of Hollywood made a deliberate effort to restore its historic downtown. Streetscape improvements, facade renovations, and zoning adjustments encouraged mixed-use development while maintaining the original scale. Rather than demolishing the past, the goal was to reactivate it. Young Circle, now ArtsPark, became a focal point for that reimagining. Public arts installations, performance spaces, playgrounds, and green space transformed the circle into a cultural anchor rather than just a traffic feature. The boulevard surrounding it began attracting new restaurants, cafes, and small businesses, gradually reshaping the perception of downtown. What adds to the charm is that Hollywood Boulevard still feels intimate. The buildings are generally mid-rise rather than towering. The sidewalks are active but not overwhelming. There is a sense that growth here is layered rather than imposed. The city leaned into its historic grit and Mediterranean revival influences rather than attempting to compete directly with Miami's vertically. So, what is Hollywood Boulevard like today? Simply put, it's the civic and cultural spine of Hollywood. Running west from Intercoastal toward downtown and centered around ArtsPark at Young Circle, the boulevard is lined with restaurants, bars, boutique shops, offices, and residential buildings. On weekends especially, it comes alive with live music, festivals, and community events. There is an authenticity here that stands out. You'll find long-standing local establishments next to newer craft cocktail bars. Families gather in the park while professionals meet for lunch nearby. It feels active but accessible. And of course, just a few minutes east, You have the city's beachfront and the famous Hollywood Beach Boardwalk, which adds an entirely different dimension to the area. That proximity between historic downtown and oceanfront is something that was part of Joseph Young's original master plan, and it still defines the city's identity today. Personally, I appreciate the walkability. You can park once, stroll through the park, grab dinner, listen to the live music, and actually feel connected to the space. It's urban, but not chaotic, social, but not overproduced. So why does Hollywood Boulevard matter, beyond being a pleasant place to spend an evening? From an urban planning perspective, it's a case study in how smaller cities can revive historic downtowns without erasing their identity. Hollywood didn't try to out-Miami Miami. Instead, it reinforced its original framework and scaled its growth appropriately. Economically, the boulevard signals stability. Continued investment in mixed-use buildings, steady restaurant turnover toward higher quality concepts, and ongoing public programming at ArtsPark all point to sustained demand. Hollywood occupies an interesting middle ground in South Florida, more approachable than Miami, more energetic than some quieter coastal towns. That positioning has real implications for real estate and long-term value. When it comes to real estate, Hollywood Boulevard benefits enormously from geography. You are positioned between Fort Lauderdale and Miami, with access to major highways, the Fort Lauderdale-Hollywood International Airport, and commuter rail options. It's centrally located within the Tri-Country area while still maintaining its own identity. Residential options downtown range from mid-rise condominium buildings to new mixed-use developments incorporating retail on the ground floor. Many units offer walkability as primary amenity, something that's increasingly valuable in South Florida. Living near the boulevard means restaurants, park, and nightlife are just outside your door. The lifestyle here is vibrant, but not overly curated. There's an ease to it. You are not buying into an ultra-luxury brand experience, you're buying into community fabric. That said, prices have reflected the area's steady resurgence. As downtown Hollywood has strengthened, property value have trended upward, particularly in buildings within walking distance of Young Circle and along the east-west corridor toward the beach. For many buyers, the appeal lies in that balance, growth potential anchored by historic structure. Let's talk about homes. The best thing about Hollywood Boulevard is the variety. You'll find newly constructed, modern builds. This is older building, completely renovated and remodeled. Both are for sale. Here is an old Florida charm mixed with new energy from recent renovations and development. Some parts of Hollywood Boulevard even offer waterfront homes on intercoastal. This is if you head east toward the beach. If you prefer more private and quieter place, you can live on one of the side streets of the boulevard. Hollywood Boulevard didn't emerge from dramatic reinvention. It returned to its roots, steadily and intentionally, building on the nearly century-old master plan laid out by Joseph W. Young. Today, it serves as the cultural and commercial backbone of Hollywood, Florida, blending history, walkability, and measured growth. For anyone considering living, investing, or simply exploring South Florida beyond the usual headlines, Hollywood Boulevard is essential to understand. It reflects where the city began, how it adapted, and where it's headed, not through spectacle, but through continuity. And much like Hollywood itself, it's still evolving, just at a pace that feels distinctly its own.